Hi everyone, this is Nathan of Hyper Player, and I'm here with Oda-san and Soranaka-san with Toshi translating for us, and we are here to do an interview about SNK Heroines. Hello, Oda-san and Soranaka-san. Thank you for giving us at Hyper Player the chance to talk to you about SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. To start things off, could you tell us a bit about how this project came to be?
So we have quite a few popular characters in the SNK universe, and we wanted to create something with just the popular female characters, and that's where the first concept started.
You have been in the game industry for a very long time and have had a lot of experience in the development of very well-known fighting games. How has the development and work environment of SNK Heroines been different from previous projects you've been a part of?
So working on a game like this, which has like a different taste and a little bit of comicalness and a little bit of sexiness and a little bit of cuteness, was really different for me. So I was really able to have fun with the development of this game.
Nice, and I think if anyone sees any kind of footage of the game, they can see that quirkiness kind of shine through. Now, we love the over-the-top stories found in the King of Fighters series, and the King of Fighters 14 was no exception. That said, we're really looking forward to SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. Can you tell us a bit about the premise behind the game story without spoiling anything, of course?
So the basic story of this game is it's the after story of King of Fighters, and to go more into depth about the actual story, these girls get gathered in a mysterious mansion, and a lot of stuff happens in there, and this is another one of the over the top stories. So hopefully our fans would really enjoy it.
Sounds like a fan's amazing like fever dream of sorts. It sounds really cool. Obviously, the game focuses on SNK's vast and iconic history. What are the challenges in choosing what characters are added to the roster, and is there a process by which characters are chosen?
So there are tons of characters in the SNK universe that we wanted to put in the game, but we wanted to make sure it's well balanced. And like I said earlier, the story starts in this mysterious mansion, so we wanted to make it a fun story.
As of late, it seems as though tag fighters have had a resurgence in popularity, and there have been many high publicized ones recently released. Are there any specific mechanics of note that you want to highlight that make SNK Heroines different from what is currently on the market?
So traditional tag team fighting games are don't have a unified HP bar, but this game does, and also the specials and dream finishes play a huge part in the winning of fights. And by unifying the HP bar, traditionally, if you were in a tag team fighting game, you would probably want to switch out your character, or if your first character loses or dies, naturally your second character would come in. But there's none of that in this game. It's more of a SP management game. So we're interested to see how people will play this game, managing their SP more than focusing on their HP.
It seems that fighting games have been making a transparent effort to make themselves more accessible to casual players. Is SNK Heroines designed more for these type of gamers, or is it being developed with the really experienced fighting game enthusiast in mind?
So on the surface of the game, the simplified controls allow for a more casual fighting game player to pick up the game and start playing it right away. But for the more complex side of things, there's complex combos in the game that involve tagging. Gauge management is definitely a thing in this game. Item usage is also a very important part of this game. So I guess the footsie game that the players have to play with those aspects appeal more to the hardcore fighting game community.
The game is currently being developed for the PS4 and the Switch, the joy of many, including myself, a Switch owner. What are the challenges when developing for two consoles that have very different hardware specs and ecosystems? And how much do the platforms affect elements of the game?
So to answer the last question first, does it affect the specs? Are the specs going to be different between the two platforms? No, we strive to make it as same as possible. In terms of developing for the Switch, we do have the growing pains of working for a new hardware for the first time, as is the case with SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy on the Switch. But everything that we've encountered, we've expected with it's the growing pains that come with working with the new hardware.
So, kind of moving away from mechanics into art style. Art style is probably one of the most important aspects when it comes to a fighting game's visual appeal. With so many characters from different games that each have their own unique theme and motif, how hard was it to bring these characters together? How was the process in deciding the art style we see in the current version of the game?
So obviously this game strays away from like the more realistic games and into the more fancy side of things. And it was at first it was hard to decide on what kind of direction we're gonna go with the art style. But once we decided on this concept, I guess it was easy for us to really work with it and create what we created today.
Continuing on with a sort of visual trait of the game, one aspect I am incredibly excited for is the ability to customize your fighter's appearance. How in-depth is the customization, and can you give us a rough estimate of the amount of unlockables you can have that are currently in the game?
So there's different parts that you could put onto different parts of your body. For example, the head and the face, you could put on different accessories. Outside of like the actual parts of your body, you could change your pose, you could change the background, you could add stickers, and this could be used for taking screenshots in the game. And for the last part of the question, asking about how many customizables you can unlock, that we have at least 100 parts as of right now.
And with all the beautiful characters bound to be in the roster, are there any that really stick out to you? And if you have one, who is your personal favorite heroine?
So I'm sorry to say this, but the characters that I want the people to focus on and my favorite character, we haven't announced them yet. So please keep following us so we could revisit this question some other day.
SNK may be known for their wealth of unforgettable fighting games, but the studio has also released a slew of other games from many genres over the years. Are there any heroines from non-fighting game properties who will make an appearance in SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy?
So ever since we announced this title in January, we've been getting a lot of fan requests for many different characters, and we would love to answer those voices and perhaps do something with them. So we're really planning things for the future, or we're in the planning stages, so we can't really guarantee anything yet. So please keep following us, and so we could hopefully give you the good news in the near future.
So, online play is obviously one of the most important aspects when crafting a modern day fighting game. It's one of the reasons I can blame lag for all my losses. So, can you tell us a bit about the online game modes that will be available in the game and when it releases this spring?
So for this game, we could create your own room and play up to 4 players at once. Soranaka-san didn't say this, but you could do 1v1, 2v1, and 2v2 with all players, no computers involved. On the flip side, there's also a quick play casual mode where you could just sign in and get matched up with somebody else.
For the figure and toy lovers out there, are there any plans for Amiibo figures to accompany the Switch version of the game?
されません。
From what we've seen so far, SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy showcases a bit more fan service than previous offerings from SNK. Are you worried that this new direction will make longtime fans of SNK fighters take the game less seriously than they would have with games like, say, King of Fighters 14?
So it just so happens that a lot of the costumes that we've showed so far have been sexy, but there are other costumes that are cute and comical. So we hope that those other costumes, as well as the gameplay itself, would appeal to all our fans.
So longtime readers of our site want to know, are there any characters from the Neo Geo's history that you would like to see join the roster of SNK Heroines, but were unable to use due to copyright reasons? Personally, we would love to see Angel from Shock Troopers make the cut.
They're not SNK characters, but if it's possible, I would love to do collabs with characters from outside of SNK.
So I wanna personally thank Soranaka-san and Oda-san for taking the time to do this interview. And is there anything else you'd like to say to all of the SNK fans out there and anyone who might be looking forward to SNK Heroines?
So SNK Heroines is it's a change up from every other or most other SNK titles that we've released in the past, and we challenged ourselves or with adding different factors. We made it a little more playful rather, and we would like to continue to introduce our characters, but we would also want to we also want to start to focus on the gameplay aspect of this game. So please keep following us, and please look forward to it. I feel that SNK Heroines is a game that can be picked up by anyone, casual gamer, hardcore fighting gamer, anyone. So please look forward to it, and please look forward to it, please. I said the same thing twice, sorry. Thank you.
All right, and I just want to thank Oda-san and Soranaka-san again from SNK for giving us this wonderful interview regarding their game SNK Heroines. And I want to thank Toshi from Nisa and Nisa as a whole for setting this up. And if you like what you saw, please comment down below and leave a like. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.